all of them were helpful in their
Absolutely.
respective domains. Everyone had their specific expertise, everyone had their point of views, and given a mains answer requires multiple point of views where each person can identify different things. So I think when I had multiple point of views coming from experienced people, I think it actually helped. It's not about content. The more you analyze the PYQs, the more you go with the past patterns and more you learn, revise again and again. That is what is more important than how much ever knowledge you gather.
Okay.
That's for the prelims. I mean, the questions are also a bit too broad. They can be asked from anywhere, and given the questions are being too random, and sometimes when the options get trickier, I think that's what makes it hard, and that was why I was feared of prelims. But given I worked on it, and last year I got a really good score in prelims.
Hello and welcome everyone. Today we have with us Varshith Reddy. He is somebody who has secured AR 259 and this was his third attempt at civil services exam. So first and foremost, Varshith, congratulations. How are you feeling?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It's actually a great feeling. I've been waiting for this rank. To be given me this is my third attempt. So when I've seen that my name in the list, I think that was a really great moment, which can't be put in words, but it was really a great feeling, sir.
So Varshith, just give us a brief background. Where are you from? Which school did you go to? College? So because what happens is a lot of the times people are searching for you by name because they may be going to the same school as you or they may be from the same college as you, and having that sort of a connection is always very inspiring. So please tell us a little bit about your background.
Sir, I'm from Hyderabad. I've done my schooling from here itself. School, it's named Sadhu Vaswani International School. So I've done my plus two till in the same school. Then I've done my graduation from BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. So it was a dual degree course, BTech in computer science and masters in economics. And that's how I've taken up economics as my optional in UPSC. So I've graduated in 2023 and my first attempt was also in 2023. In my first attempt, I couldn't clear the mains. In second attempt, I could not clear prelims. So that was a year when I prepared for the Staff Selection Commission CGL exam, and I got the GST Inspector post, and where I'm currently working. This is my third attempt where I cleared the exams.
So, Varshith, you were also working at the time that you were giving your first attempt, or did
yes, sir. It was a full-time internship.
Achha. So, like, how did you manage your full-time work along with studies?
Sir, I used to pull out time. It was more about time management. In weekdays, I used to pull out around 4 hours. And on weekends, I would give my full time, around
4
8
hours
to 10
in the morning,
hours
in the evening, between work. Give me a break.
Not in between work, sir. During work hours, I used to stay in the office and I used to work in the office. After work hours and maybe 1 or 2 hours in the morning. So that's how I prioritized. Mostly the weekends would help. This was still prelims, but I would say it's really hard managing time between prelims and mains with a job. So I could do it till prelims. So I've left it and I've done 4 times.
Right. So like this is counter to what I've heard, or what I would even assume myself, that if I had to spend time preparing alongside a job, I would prefer in the mornings. Why? Because I'd be fresher. So how did you get out of that overhang? Because work tends to spill over, right, at times, and you're studying after work. So how did you manage that transition?
So I prioritize the work such that the one which require more of new content to be absorbed, those I used to do them in the morning where I was a bit fresh. And evening, I usually stay late at night. I'm used to staying till 12, 1. So right after coming from office, I take a quick nap of half an hour or so. And then I start the revision or giving any test series.
You were up till 3 a.m.?
No, it's 12 to 1. So
Okay.
I come back from office like 5:30 or 6. I sleep for a while, half an hour to 1 hour, and I just pull out 3 hours or 4 hours after that.
Okay. You come back office at 5:30?
6, yeah, 5:36.
AM, PM?
PM.
And then let's say you sleep for half an hour, that will be, let's say 7, right? You come back by 6, half an hour sleep, 7, and then like you're studying for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, like 11:30ish.
Okay.
And morning, I'll just pull out an hour or 1.5 hours in the morning.
So I think that nap in the middle is something that is would help you reset and refresh.
Yes, sir.
Right. So Varshith is also somebody who was part of our Prelims 360 batch as well as our mains focus group batch in 2023. So Varshith, you were joined primarily for the mentorship and test series. So how did the mentorship help, and what happened over there?
Right from the starting of preparation, I was alone. I've done my preparation on my own. So that I also didn't have any friends who were preparing for the same examination. So I required someone who could say that you are going in the right path. I think that's what helped me from this course, where I've enrolled for the course so that I have someone who could look at my progress in my marks and would say you're going in the right way, or would tell me any mistakes which I'm committing. So that's how I joined the UPSC Prep Prelims course and also was part of the mains course. So where I've appeared for the test series, I've showed them my mark sheets, and they identified a few gap areas, and that's where I focused and rectified myself.
Right. So I think mains ke liye you also showed me a couple of answer sheets, and Shashank sir might have been the one you spent more time with.
Yes, sir.
And then Ketan sir also you spent some time with.
Yes, sir.
So of all of the three mentors, whom did you find, the one that helped you or guided you in the way that you appreciated most?
No, I mean, everyone had their different styles of giving. But given the most time I spent with Shashank sir, so I think I would choose him among the three, but all of them were helpful in their respective domains. Everyone had their specific expertise, everyone had their point of views, and given a mains answer requires multiple point of views where each person can identify different things. So I think when I had multiple point of views coming from experienced people, I think it actually helped.
Absolutely. So Varshith, first attempt you made it to mains, second attempt didn't clear prelims, third attempt through and through to the rank. So what changed? What happened in the second attempt? How did you mess up in prelims? What was going on?
Second attempt was something. It's still a puzzle for me. I gave a lot of time for prelims. I gave around 5 months right after my mains result. I just took a break for a month and I started with prelims because I had a fear of prelims, because even my first attempt I couldn't clear prelims by much margin. It was just a few marks margin which I cleared prelims. So I had a fear of prelims, and I put in a lot of time to prelims where I picked up new content. I think that was a major mistake which I've done, but I started to study a lot.
Okay.
So I gave a lot of time. I gave 5 months. I studied, I think, a lot, but I still couldn't clear it by a bit. That's what I changed in my next attempt. Where
the third attempt?
Yeah, it was not more about the content. It was more about analyzing PYQs, how the questions were asked, how were they framed. So I analyzed everything. I remembered the PYQs by heart. So after a point, I understood it was not about the answers. It was about how it went wrong and how it is made correct, and how I could apply my knowledge onto that and figuring it out. So it was a gradual process, but second attempt actually taught me a lot when I couldn't clear it. So when I analyzed it, it actually helped me understand the mistakes which I was making.
I think that's always a case over here, that when you hear only success stories, so then half the time the people who are successful are not very aware of what actually went right. It's only when you go wrong that you figure out, this is something that was absolutely required to avoid. So you have figured out that, you can't do everything. You have to be focused, and previous year questions is the way to, figure out where to exactly focus. Right. So what's it in your journey overall? You had said that you enjoyed the interview phase, or that is the part that you found easiest or had most fun with. So tell me how you prepared for your PT, because that is supposed to be one of the most unstructured phases of this exam.
Sir, I don't find it easiest, but the interesting part of it actually made it more fun part of it, because that didn't have a pressure of writing 9 exams of a mains.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you get to know more about yourself. I mean, that was also first time where I went to Delhi. I had a peer group of people who were preparing for interview. We used to have regular calls discussing diverse topics and actually framing our own opinions on each topic. So that was a more broad thing. You read 3 newspapers. You don't have any pressure of writing answers. So I think that was a stage where we actually prepare in a true way, like understanding the whole entire topics and making our own opinions irrespective of what others think, and also try to be a bit more balanced way how to present
So
it
can you
in a better
walk
way.
me through the process of forming an opinion on any given particular topic? Let's say, let's take up a topic of uniform civil code. Right, it's been in news for the last couple of years and always in the headline somewhere or the other. So if somebody had to form their opinion about the uniform civil code, how do you suppose they should go about it?
I mean, on a personal level, I think different people have different opinions. There was for argument on the against argument as well. But when multiple people as a group, which we used to sit together and we used to discuss on it, we used to have points for and against, and we actually feel that both of them have their merits. And then we think on how to put our argument. If let's say I have a for argument, now I want to say for it, but I should at the same time accommodate the against interest also. So that the balancing act is what we practiced a lot. How could we place the argument in a subtle manner, which doesn't look too extreme, or it should also shouldn't look that we're not taking a stand. We're just playing a balancing act.
So
it
if
should
you
be.
would want to give this sort of a statement, Kibai, what's your take on UCC?
Okay. So
I've put you in a spot. Don't worry, you take your
yeah.
time. But that's the thing, like having these sorts of examples is like if somebody is listening to this podcast, so having these sorts of practical examples is very useful. Because then it gives them an actual idea of okay, because anybody will say you can take a stand, but not necessarily have to be balanced. But having a practical example of that is makes it a lot more approachable, applicable.
Yeah, I mean, for the Uniform Civil Code specifically, we have the constitutional mandate under Article 44, which says the government should strive for bringing in a Uniform Civil Code. So the government has also set up committees for the same. But at the same time, there are diverse tribal communities and multiple religions in our country who have their different personal laws. So it can't be a single one piecemeal approach, but we have to go through consensus. We can bring in different personal laws step by step into the Uniform Civil Code, so that multiple interests can be accommodated. So we already have such law coming in Uttarakhand, where they have initially excluded the tribal communities and bringing in them in a piecemeal approach, where their better discussions have been going on through them. So I think it's more of an accommodative process should be taken, so that eventually we can bring in the Uniform Civil Code into the
right.
law.
So, like one more opinion, for example, on this is that any given religion can have, the core tenets of the religion, and then there are the peripheral things of the religion. So, Uniform Civil Code, if it deals with the peripheral things, like for example, inheritance, marriage, right? These are not core things of any given religion. Core things of any given religion is who is God, and like who are you, and like what happens after death, life. All of those sorts of things are core questions. You don't touch the core questions because we also have religious freedom as a fundamental right. But at the same time, the peripheral things, those are things that can possibly be regulated by a Uniform Civil Code, because these are again material things. These don't really deal with God.
Yeah, the essential religious practices. So we could exclude them. Yes.
So like this is one of the ways in which somebody can go about. But for this, obviously, you will have to figure out what are essential practices,
what are the essential,
what are not essential, so on and so forth. Right. So Varshith, overall in this journey, I'm sure you used AI quite a bit. So what AI did you use, and where did you use it? How did you use it?
AI, I've been using it in multiple stages, and this year specifically for mains, I've used it a lot. One is for gathering value addition. We have a lot of content. Second is for summarizing documents. So we have these Niti Aayog documents which are really bulky. So I used to upload it, and I used to ask, give me quick value addition notes. That was there. And apart from that, I've also seen a new platform. It was an AI correction platform, answer correction platform. So we can upload the answer sheets, and it corrects the answers and gives you feedback. So it was an initial stage, but that was also an AI which I've used. So there were many. I've also used AI to analyze PYQs. The themes of PYQs which can be asked. So it was used even in interview stage. Also AI was used. Again,
so you were using ChatGPT or anything else?
ChatGPT, Gemini. So these were the major LLM models.
Did you have pro subscription, or were you using the free versions?
They were free. even pro, you have this daily limit of pro, like 5 questions a day. But I think the free versions work because we just give them the documents and they summarize it for us. So that wouldn't need much. So I think free versions would do.
Right. Okay, a lot of the times this happens that people want to take advantage of this, but they are resource constrained. So therefore, not everybody can afford a pro subscription, because even that is, when you total it up for the end of the year, it is 20, 25K.
Yes.
So beyond that also, the free subscriptions are pretty good. And if ek ka free subscription khatam ho jata hai, so then you have another one. You can go to Perplexity, then you can go to DeepSeek, then you can go to keep switching them as you require.
Yes.
So, Varshith, if you had to give one piece of advice to somebody who's just starting their journey, think of it as that this is Varshith in 2023, and if he had gotten this advice, his life would have been a lot easier in his UPSC journey. What advice would you give?
Sir, I have two different advices. One I would say for prelims, another for mains, which I've done a few mistakes in that. For prelims, I would say it's not about content. The more you analyze the PYQs, the more you go with the past patterns and more you learn, revise again and again. That is what is more important than how much ever knowledge you gather.
Okay.
That's for the prelims. And for mains, sir, it is what's more important is writing what's asked and how it is written. So after a point, the content is same of for majority of the people, but addressing the core demand and the presentation part. So we have to make it more easy for them. That's what I did in the current attempt, where I majorly focused on value addition and how the answer is properly presented. So I think that I would say myself to be better focused on my first attempt, where I could write better answers comparatively.
So which is your mark sheet is already out over here, right? So
yes,
in which subject did you score the highest? 1, 2, 3, 4?
Highest, I think it's GS2, 110 in GS2.
So can we take up a question from 2025 GS2? And what I want from you is, when you're saying, core demand of the question needs to be addressed. So I want to give I want you to give a practical example of, this is the core demand of the question and this is what has to be written over here. If you do this, good. If not, you'll lose marks. Right. So I'll just share the 2025 GS2 paper and let's take up question number 5.
Okay.
So the question is, Attorney General of India plays a crucial role in guiding the legal framework of the Union government and ensuring sound governance through legal counsel. Discusses responsibilities, rights and limitations in this regard. So break down this question for us.
So the initial statement, which talks about the Attorney General's a statement which describes his role, I think that should quickly be addressed in the introduction part. And the core demand of the question is responsibilities, rights, and limitations. So that should be the core aspect. So the first part, initially, if I would have written, I would have also focused more on the first part, and maybe I would have gone the first 3/4 of pages or half a page on that part. But given it's a 10 marker, that should be quickly addressed in the first section itself. Maybe quick intro, we could go in. But then we have, I would have written this as the responsibilities of the Attorney General and the rights, and then the limitations and the conclusion. In a para format, I would have written a quick way forward or the thing for the Attorney General. So I think that second bit of the question is the core demand of the question, where we have to address the responsibilities, rights, and limitations.
Right. And I think this is a question which is also pretty direct. It has given you responsibilities,
directly given, yes,
and limitations. So you have to be very specific. But the important part that Varshith also highlighted is, given that there is a statement, you have to qualify the statement also. That I think some people just skip that part because they are just in a rush to be okay, rights, limitations, वगैरह पूछा है, so then I'll just write about that and move on. Right. So, Varshith, overall, you've said that prelims was the harder part of the examination process for you. What exactly made it, that complicated? Because prelims is something that I don't know why, but everybody, no matter this year, previous year, last 5 years ago, 10 years ago, people are just scared of prelims. What is it about prelims?
I mean, for mains, the syllabus is structured. We have a proper syllabus. But when it comes to mains, we feel, the questions are also a bit too broad. They can be asked from anywhere. And given the questions are being too random, and sometimes when the options get trickier, I think that's what makes it hard, and that was why I was feared of prelims. But given I worked on it, and last year I got a really good score in prelims, and that actually helped me a lot because given the compression of time between prelims and mains, so as soon as I've written prelims, as soon as I've got to know that my marks are above 100, I quickly started off my mains preparation without any wasting time.
Right.
So I think prelims, it's more about the number of questions, a wide range of questions which can be asked, and the diciness of the prelims, which is growing every year, and that what makes it hard. And for some people, we also have CSAT, which is always there. So.
Right. So, Varshith, last question from you. If you could recommend a book or a TV series or a movie or a documentary or whatever that people who are preparing for UPSC should watch this, which is not related to syllabus, what would you recommend?
Picking a movie is really hard for me because I watch all the movies. I'm
But
really
then
big.
obviously, if you watch all the movies, so then you have a taste for them. There are some good movies and there are some okay movies.
Okay. In the recent times, I would suggest a Tamil movie. It's called Bison. That's a really good movie. If you're
Could you
into
spell it?
sociology, Bison, Bison.
Oh, Bison. Okay.
Bison. So
Nice.
it's a sports sociological drama, which is gives relations of caste, social oppression, and sports, which are interlinked. That's a good movie, which can learn about the society of that place.
About a kabaddi player.
Yeah, and how is society and the area shapes it. So it's a good movie.
Okay, so I think with that we'll end the session. Thank you, Varshith, for your time. It's been fun talking to you, and wishing you all the best on your future attempts, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And it was really great speaking to you.